Imagine a secret team of codebreakers working in silence, while the fate of the world hung in the balance. Can you imagine the pressure? It's a story that seems straight out of a Hollywood thriller, but it's real. And the hero of this story is a name you should know, Alan Turing. During World War II, Alan Turing and his team cracked the Enigma code, a breakthrough that not only shortened the war, but also laid the foundation for modern computers. But why don't we know about them? They were working in secret after all. Well, because of a lack of recognition at the time, and sadly, discrimination later on. Their story has remained hidden from the public eye until now. It's a story that deserves to be told, and we're here to do just that. This is the first episode in our series where we bring you the untold stories of those who changed the world but never became household names. Let's start at the beginning. In the early 1900s, Germany was up to some shady business. They invented a machine called Enigma that can encrypt messages by scrambling them into unreadable gibberish. Think of it like your classic Caesar cipher, where each letter of the alphabet is shifted a certain number of places. But unlike its simple predecessors, Enigma had a twist. It could create billions of combinations, making it nearly impossible to crack. This encryption was a game changer, especially when Germany started using it to send military messages during World War II. So what was so special about these messages? Well, they contained military secrets like troop movements and attack plans. For instance, let's say the Germans sent a message saying, "Tomorrow we attack in the east," but the receiver couldn't read it because it was encrypted. To decipher it, they needed to know the encryption method or key used to scramble the message. Now imagine if you got the wrong key. You'd end up with a message that doesn't make any sense. It would be something like GSFFVUIFXDGPSUIFEDJQFSG. So the Germans thought they were safe, right? Not quite. Enter Alan Turing, a brilliant mathematician and computer scientist who eventually became known as the father of theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence. Before we get into how he cracked the code, take a moment to appreciate how big of a deal it was back then. There was no technology like smartphones or the internet, no easy way to communicate across vast distances, and secrecy was crucial, especially during wartime. If your enemy could read your messages, it could mean the difference between victory and defeat, life and death. Now let's talk about the man who made it possible. Alan Turing, born on June 23, 1912 in London, England, showed signs of brilliance from an early age. His mother, Ethel, noticed his sharp mind and inquisitive nature, often giving him books to read at home. This sparked a love of learning in him that would shape his future. However, his path wasn't always smooth. During his time at King's College, Cambridge, he faced challenges that would test his resilience. In 1935, he was denied the prestigious fellowship, which allowed him to stay at the college and continue his research. Despite the setback, Turing didn't give up. He moved to Princeton University in New Jersey, USA, where he collaborated with renowned mathematicians like John von Neumann. Here he worked on the mathematical foundations of computer memory. Turing's genius was evident. At the time, he developed ideas that laid the groundwork for the Turing machine, a theoretical model of computation that is still relevant today. But soon the tranquility of academia would be replaced by the urgency of war. When World War II broke out, Turing abandoned his research and returned to Britain. He realized that his skills were needed elsewhere. In 1939, upon his return to Britain, Turing joined the British government's code and cipher school at Bletchley Park in Buckinghamshire. There he found himself in the midst of a top-secret operation. The mission: break the German Enigma code and give Britain the upper hand in the war. It was a daunting task, but Turing's keen intellect and unconventional thinking made him the perfect man for the job. After assessing the Enigma machine, Turing realized that brute force was the only way to crack it. Basically, they needed to try every possible key until they got the right one. But the problem was that Enigma's keys changed daily, sometimes even multiple times a day, making this process a full-time job. Also, The sheer number of possible combinations was astronomical, far beyond what any human could do in a reasonable amount of time. So how did Turing solve this puzzle? With the help of his team, he designed a machine called the bomb, one of the earliest examples of a programmable computer. The bomb was capable of testing thousands of Enigma key settings per second, a feat that would have taken humans years to accomplish. On May 1, 1941, the bomb successfully decrypted a German message and the war was never the same. The ability to read German communications gave Britain an invaluable advantage. Troop movements, attack plans, and secret negotiations. Nothing was hidden from them. Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of Britain at the time, said that the work done at Bletchley Park saved countless lives and shortened the war by years. But despite this monumental contribution to the Allied victory, Turing and his team remained in the shadows. Secrecy was paramount, and revealing their methods could compromise future operations. So they worked in silence, their names and their work kept secret from the public eye. After the war ended in 1945, the British government ordered the destruction of most evidence related to the cracking of Enigma. This included the bomb machines and many of the documents detailing their methods. However, some information did surface over the years through official publications and investigative journalism. In 1972, a British journalist named Andrew Hodges published a biography on Alan Turing that shed light on his contributions during the war. Historians now estimate that breaking the Enigma code may have shortened the war by 2 years, potentially saving millions of lives. The impact of their work went far beyond the war. It paved the way for modern cryptography and computer science. One such individual was John von Neumann, a brilliant mathematician who helped develop the first electronic general-purpose computer. Turing's ideas about computation laid the groundwork for what we take for granted today. Think about it. The next time you use a smartphone or send an email, you are benefiting from the legacy of these unsung heroes. Sadly, Turing's own story had a tragic turn. In 1952, he was prosecuted for gross indecency due to his homosexuality, a time when it was still illegal in the UK. Instead of fighting the charges, he opted for chemical castration, a form of hormone therapy. In 1954, at the age of 51, he died by suicide. As we reflect on the incredible contributions of Alan Turing and his team, it's hard not to wonder what might have been. Had they not cracked the Enigma code, the outcome of World War II could have been vastly different. Imagine a world where the Germans retained their cryptographic edge, where the Allies struggled to keep up. Would the war have dragged on longer? Would the human cost have been even greater? It's a chilling thought. And yet, in the face of such a daunting challenge, Turing and his team didn't just persevere. They triumphed. They proved that with enough ingenuity, perseverance, and teamwork, even the most complex codes can be broken. So the next time you find yourself typing a message on your phone or browsing the internet, take a moment to appreciate the legacy of these forgotten heroes. Their work not only shaped the course of history, but also laid the foundation for the digital world we inhabit today. If you've enjoyed this glimpse into the hidden past, we invite you to join us for more. Hit that subscribe button and become part of our community of history buffs and curious minds. Together, let's uncover more untold stories that have shaped our world.